Hi there. I don't normally get to do these at the weekend because the children are always here and they're very noisy. However, I'm just trying to find the cover. I can do it now because they're all eating, and eating is a surefire way to keep them quiet. Now I can't find it. So I wanted to talk today about someone that I've talked. There it is. Someone that I've talked about before, and indeed have interviewed on the website. So I shall put the link in for that as well, because I just completely love their books. And I got in touch with them. How did that happen? Because Sam Maxfield, who is the author, has written a children's book, and that's how we connected. And then I realised she was local to me, and we met up. And then I realised that she's actually quite a prolific writer, and has written lots of not adult books, but books for adults. And I haven't read all of them, but I have completely and utterly loved the series that she's written about a place called Mapton. So Mapton's a fictional place, but we all know where it is if we live in the East Midlands, because it's a beautiful, it's a sort of tongue-in-cheek homage, really, to this slightly fading seaside town, and the characters that are attracted to go to such a place. What I love about the books is they're very funny. There's always romance, there's always a thread of romance, but it's not cheesy, it's not schmaltzy, lovely humour. But it's the characters and the fact that they can be so repugnant, and yet you're completely invested in what they do and what happens to them, and you genuinely care. I've come to genuinely care for these people. I've just finished book 3, which I believe is the last one, and I'm hoping to goodness Sam's writing more as we speak, because I really have fallen in love with them. I love all of the characters, and not all of them are nice. Some of them are naughty and do bad things, but even that has a lovely patination to it and a lovely reality to it, because not everyone's life is nice. And they're all significant in the story, even the tiny little characters. I mean, there's a tiny little character, he has perhaps 20 lines in each book. He's not significant, and yet the fact that he remains in them and he does have a really important part to play. And I love that. I love the cleverness of that, and that it can it makes it a much more sort of fulfilling experience to read them, because there's that quality there. There's that very careful planning and thorough. They're very thorough. So the characters are very believable, and you completely identify with them, sort of physically and emotionally. So I've thoroughly enjoyed them all. And as I finished, I read I have 2 paperbacks, and the last one I read on a Kindle. And as I finished, there was a short story linked to them, and of course Kindle tells you that, which I do find really helpful, because I may not have come across it otherwise, because it's not the sort of next book in the series. It's just a little, I don't know what it is, but it's a short story with 2 of the characters in, a little bit, I think, about their history from the title of the book. But it's really fabulous, and I'd really encourage you to watch the video with Sam to hear a little bit about her and how she works. She's a very interesting woman, but also to read these Mapton books, because they're just absolute gems.